And with that, we welcome in Boise State Director of Athletics, Jeremiah Dickey, for the second week in a row here on the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show. And Jeremiah, we're going to make obviously a habit of this. What is it like to be on the blue and get a chance to experience this live and in person for the first time?
It's honestly really difficult to put words in to it, guys. I remember I go back to January when I was out here with my family, and I could not wait for this day. And so to have the opportunity with Bronco Nation behind us here to cheer on these student athletes that have continued to navigate adversity, I am excited and cannot wait for a kickoff.
Jeremiah, a lot of new things debuting inside Albertson Stadium tonight. What are you most excited for?
Honestly, with the way my mind works, I'm excited for what's next and how we're going to improve on today and what the next game experience looks like. We've barely scratched the surface of what we can do in this facility and how we can serve our fans. And so when we look at cellular and alcohol and our new app, there's so many different things that we've worked on, but there are 100 other things that we just didn't have the time to get done that I'm really looking forward to in the future.
Jeremiah, I know that COVID is always a fluid situation, but as you guys open up your stadium to Bronco Nation for the first time in a long time, how confident are you guys in your protocols that you have set in place as we await kickoff here tonight?
It's a great question. We very much depend on the experts, and we have a process and a protocol in place, and I feel very confident in that. I ask all fans, and those alike, to wear their masks and to protect those next to them and around them, and we're going to do everything we can to control what we can. And obviously the health and safety of our community and our student athletes is of utmost importance, and I think from the very beginning in early August when we made some changes, we did that with that in mind, and we'll continue to navigate accordingly.
Jeremiah, I know UTEP holds a special place in your heart. When I say UTEP, what kind of memories come to mind?
Wow, my dad's here today, and it's special. It's special. My first sport memory was at a UTEP game. My grandfather was the team doctor of UTEP. That's a big part of who I am and why I'm standing in front of you today. And so to share with family and friends and those from El Paso, it's surreal, to think about a guy who wanted to be an athletic director and his first job out of college was at UTEP in the hometown that he grew up in, and to have his first game, a home football game against UTEP. There's a bigger plan at play, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
I was going to say, Jeremiah, if you ever question if this was meant to be, this had to have answered all of those questions. Going to be awesome to see Boise State take on UTEP a little bit later on this evening. Speaking of fluid situations, it always seems like conference realignment is at the forefront of the discussion throughout college football. And I know that we talked about this last week, but things have even changed since then. It appears that the Big 12 is going to have a chance to add 4 new members, maybe expand even more. What is the latest with Boise State as they continue to monitor the realignment climate?
Well, one, unfortunately for you guys, I don't think my statement changes much. I said it when I got here in the press conference. We're not going to settle. We're not going to sit back. We're going to continue to put the foot on the gas, and we're going to move this thing forward. We're excited about what's next for us. Our history and rich tradition in athletics and academics, it speaks for itself, and we're going to continue to control what we can. And I think the future is extremely bright for us. There's a lot that goes into that process. We've already started that. It started 8 months ago, and we're not going to stop.
Jeremiah, big picture, you look at the Boise State brand. Your opinion for leaders around the country, what makes Boise State so appealing?
Well, one, this community, it speaks for itself. It's an unbelievable place, and it's a big part of why I'm here. But you look at the success of our athletic program overall, and what some great coaches who've come before Andy and what they've done on and off the field, and our academics. I mean, when you put us side by side, it's hard to, you're splitting hairs. And so I think from a national standpoint, we're only going to grow from here. We have an unbelievable foundation, and the future is extremely bright for Bronco Nation.
Jeremiah, once again, we appreciate you joining us on the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show. The good thing about transitioning from growing up and watching UTEP and coming to Boise State, it's only a slightly different shade of blue and orange. So you still get the color continuity there in terms of team colors. But Jeremiah, once again, we appreciate you joining us.